Hello, how you doing? How you doing? I am Upside Haunts, and welcome back to our usual broadcast. Today I have a bit of a oldie but a goodie. You could tell it's old because its box is just absolutely falling apart. Like, it is just bursting at the seams. It really wants to get out.
Upside Haunts.
It may seem obvious to you, but for those who can't really catch up, I've got to explain it. I have had this animatronic since like 2020, and it's been through a lot. And I'm starting to work on my outdoor display and my haunted house, so I need to kind of get out all the older animatronics that I own, and just kind of thought to myself, why not make a video about it? So here's Crouchy. Let's see. Here is all the stuff. He is slightly customized. I've done some things. I will explain what I've done to him as I pull parts out, such as this. This is like a hip loop, except it goes in his midsection, and this kind of like mesh material goes and helps create the form of his main body. It doesn't make him so cripplingly skinny looking. Here are its pants. These pants are filled with stuffing, makes it look more beefy. This is a big, strong clown, of course. One of its arms, now I have grievances with party times arms like this. It's one of the downfalls of Crouchy's quality. It has these little plastic thin wrists. And as you can see, I've had to use some JB weld here and fix it because it is broken here on multiple hands, because I've gotten another hand from Dr. Zombie and then this one broke. And so frick, man. I'm glad I got it fixed, but I've got to be careful with its arms because of these wrists. Other animatronics like Stilts from Spirit Halloween also have that. I assume he's made by Party Time too, but you know, beware. Here's one of his shoes, different shoes. This is from the Animatronic 2 scoops, and instead of blue, I painted it red to match Crouchy. I just thought these shoes were much better and much better quality, thicker plastic, much more detail. And I kind of want to, as I bought and then resold 2 scoops, I kind of switched out the shoes. Foam. Here's his other hand. This one's wrist hasn't been broken yet, but I added some JB weld kind of preemptively just in case it would break in the future, just to make it stronger. Here's his other shoe. Don't mind that. Some pretty big legs. Now these legs are obviously very bent because he's in a crouching position, but usually they're much more bent. I've kind of unbended them over the years and took him out of a crouching position. And honestly, I prefer what I've done to it much more. It makes him considerably taller. Here's his actual hip loop. This is where the elastic of the pants will go around. His shirt. And of course, I filled the arms with stuffing as well, make him look all strong, muscular, beefy, big, strong clown. And here we have the main body piece, complete with a control box and a wire that's been stuck around here. Okay, there we go. We've got his neck ruffle, his huge hunchback, his base, which is just massive. This is the main reason for the size of his box. And finally, the best piece, his head comparison. It is really big. He's like 7'1". I think I measured him earlier and he was 7'1", which is strange because ever since I made his legs less bent, he became taller. So maybe he started out like 6'5" or something. I don't know, man. But might as well get started. So now that we've got all his parts laid out, he is ready to be built. And I know one part of this process that is going to be very difficult. And every time I build him, I'm kind of worried that he'll break. All of this part is just very straightforward. It's your average clown building for all you clown builders out there. And now it's time for the hard part. Now that he's got his legs on, I've got to put on his upper body. These 2 pieces are so tight and so stubborn, probably because I bent him at the ankles, but no, I refuse to take any responsibility for any of this. My actions don't have any consequences. What are you talking about? But hopefully this will go smoothly. So far it's going good. Maybe I shouldn't have spoken. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it worked. Nice. I'm actually so surprised. Let's put this thing right on over and then attach his pants right onto his hip loop. He's got these things on tight. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh, sweet. That looks awesome. Dude, I love Crouchy. He's, I know he's pretty basic and overpriced because he's $300. He should have been like $250 because he released the same year as Collector, which does more, same size, and it's $250. But because this one's a clown, it costs like $50 more. And I know that since Crouchy is so popular and merchandised by Spirit, he's definitely gonna come back, and he's definitely gonna be more money. That's the tough part. But despite all this, Crouchy is just like so cool. He's just so intimidating. He's like the perfect big clown to me. Because like it doesn't do anything weird. Like there was the clown on stilts sold by Lowe's last year, and that one looked really cool. It was like giant zombie clown. It was even bigger than Crouchy, but it did the floss. That was its animation. It just looked like it was doing the floss. And I don't know. That's a big downside for me. Plus it was faulty. It broke for me twice. But Crouchy here is just simple and straight to the point. It doesn't talk or anything. He just has this really deep laughter. It's just kind of like everything you would want from a big scary clown. It's just simple. It does its job. It's like if Crouchy wasn't so like famous from Spirit, then he would make a good haunt clown because it doesn't give you a whole like speech or anything. So I'm just trying to put on his hunchback. This is kind of tougher than I thought it would be. Okie dokie, there we go. Nice. Holy crap, I forgot a piece. No wonder he looks so skinny. I'm missing this. This goes in the center of his body. Oh, crap. Don't mind me, just restarting. Woo! Okay, see where I'm coming from with this part? Like this is just so much better. And it protects the motor from getting caught with like any clothing or anything. It's just like, he's gonna look much more filled out. Because you can't exactly fill his shirt with stuffing or anything. The motor's in here. There we go. Oh, that is so much better. Okay, now the next step are the arms. These are fairly posable since they are party time. The poles are pretty thin. There are upsides and downsides to that. There we go, that's one arm. You know, I used to have like paper bowls inside of here to kind of create shoulder pads. That did look much better, but the paper poles were unreliable. I might try and redo that idea with something else because his shoulders are very, very bony. There's no like good look about them or anything. If you couldn't tell, I care a lot about how my Crouchy looks. He was my second animatronic I've ever bought. You might be wondering, oh, Upside Haunts, what's your first animatronic? That my dear sweet child, that would be the Collector. Yes, the same Collector that I mentioned earlier that's made by the same company but for 250 bucks. That Collector. I customized that one a lot too. Like I gave it a wooden base. It was like crazy looking. I did end up selling it though, like I do with a lot of my animatronics. I kind of keep my collection on a kind of conveyor belt, just switching out all the time, just changing and shifting. Because I don't really have the money to just like keep everything that I buy, but I want to like see everything or like try it out or like put it in my haunt. And there's so much new stuff every year. So I kind of have to like make sacrifices all the time. People in the comments are all like, oh, Upside Haunts has gotten the infinite money glitch, but my infinite money glitch comes at a price. I'm basically renting these things. I do make exceptions though, and I keep a small collection consistent. That's how I've managed to just keep Crouchy through all these years. Is I've made an exception for him. I love Crouchy, but I can only keep so many. And there we go. Here's his head. It's got one wire because it's motion sensors right here. Something cool about this head in particular is when I was customizing him, I gave his mouth and teeth some more like lip gloss to make it look all wet all the time, kind of the same way that Distortions Unlimited makes their mouths look wet, mouths and eyes. I gave it a bit more like fake blood around here to make it look less like goofy, put them on the tips of the teeth and more going down here. And I also carved out the eyes, so the eyes are just not there whatsoever. Because usually Crouchy would just have black eyes, which didn't make much sense to me. They are cool, but I thought that it would be cooler if he just had no eyes. At one point, I did have a strobe light in his head and filled his head with stuffing, and then that made him have like flickering white eyes. And I had it like that for a while, but then later on decided that no eyes was just the superior option. All right, his head is plugged in. It's really nice. He really only has one wire that you need to connect. Now, the last thing I need to do is plug him in and see him go. Oh man, he's looking just fantastic. Love that. Okay, one downside, he does have a very short cord. Most of the places you'll have to put him may require an extension cord. Okay, it's time. Oh, there he goes. Okay, yeah, and it's so true just how simple he is. It is just that one phrase. He will just repeat that every time he's activated. It doesn't have a constant on mode, which is strange given his whole thing. He should have a constant on mode. He has to be activated via the motion sensor every time, which kind of sucks because the motion sensor is in his mouth and sometimes it can't see past the teeth. A lot of the funness of him is the posability of his arms. So you kind of put him in a leaned over lurching position, and it's kind of cool, very intimidating. He's just a very big beefy clown. As you can see by the base, just off screen, it's very angled because he normally just faces completely at an angle, which is very strange that he doesn't look forward. He just kind of like requires that you have his base at an angle. Something that I do love is his head is unique. It's foam-filled latex, like a professional prop. Same type of thing that like the Mutant Legend is made with, except this foam is much, much harder. All of its foam is just very hard. It's covered with latex to kind of give it that skin feel. But its nose is squishy. It's kind of attached separately, which is very odd, but I do enjoy that detail. I've always considered Crouchy to be my scariest clown because he's not like absurdly huge to where it's like unrealistic. He is just really creepy in the dark. Like put him in the right lighting and he's got that like deep laughter. It's not a whole speech about how he's evil and like what happened in his family life as a child. I am kind of always worried about his welds and them like keeping up. That's why I've kind of secured him preemptively with JB weld. I just put that like over the parts that I feel will break, especially his neck. Since his head is foam-filled latex, it's very heavy. And so you might have noticed when I put the head on, it just totally like made him lean forward more. But I'm always excited to get him back out. He's just very delicate. You can't really put him outside because then he would have to contend with the wind. And that's just a Crouchy killer. So he'll forever be my indoor animatronic. He'll be a surprise to people in the haunted house. Yeah, let's let him go again. This time, I'm gonna turn off the lights. So right off the bat, I don't think he's worth it for $300. I just got to get that out of the way. But he looks amazing. He's just an awesome looking clown. Just very, very immediately iconic. Similar to the way that Whack-A-Mole was immediately iconic. I like its deep laughter. Its movement is simple, but it's just kind of good enough. I just appreciate that it moves. And its arms are kind of a secondary movement since its arms are so weak that its simple side to side makes them kind of bounce around. It makes him look like he's laughing very subtly. I'm not like sure what to say about him. Obviously you can't like buy him right now. You'd have to get him secondhand. But just like as an animatronic, I would recommend it. He's just an awesome clown. Kind of like the quintessential giant clown. He is a bit like too popular because ever since he released in 2020, or wait, no, he released in 2019. I got him in 2020. But ever since he released, they started like merchandising him. You can get like a Crouchy mug or a knife with like his reflection or like a poster. And that's just kind of like, now you don't want to put him in your haunt because he's not like an original character to you anymore. It screams too much, this is Spirit Halloween, this is a Spirit Halloween animatronic. But I kind of like him enough just by default to kind of surpass that. I mean, he is just kind of my resident big clown. That's kind of one of the reasons why I don't keep other big clowns is because I'm like, if Crouchy beats it, then I'm keeping Crouchy instead and I have to sacrifice the other one. And Crouchy usually comes out on top. I don't know if I'm incredibly biased for that, but it's just, I like his design a lot. Kind of underrated, kind of overhated, but I understand if you wouldn't want to like put him in your haunt or anything because of the way that Spirit has handled the character. I recognize that mine is customized, and that's part of why he looks like so good, but it's not that hard to like fill his arms with stuffing and legs, and just like that's mostly all you need for him to look good. But yeah, that was Crouchy the Clown. Kind of interesting unboxing old animatronics, because it's not like a new reaction. I'm just kind of explaining what I've done to it and kind of the history I've had with it. It's kind of fun. I might unbox more old stuff. Oh my gosh, there's a fly freaking harassing me. I don't know if you could see it, but I shall see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe. Bye!